One thing I also want to go into would be why most Google ad campaigns fail. Now, I think they fail to understand the Google Ads auction process. That's a big one. That process, there's a lot that goes on. I could do a whole nother webinar just on that process alone. But it really is also the complexity of different industries: plumbing, HVAC, roofing, pest services, home funeral services. There's a certain flow about it that if you don't understand how some of these home services work, you're really not going to be able to dive deeper into some of the deeper things. Like for plumbing, trenchless repairs. I think that's just a really big crucial project, and be able to work commercially. HVAC specifically, be able to work commercially in certain locations. That is really going to get you a little extra bang for your buck. So if you're dealing with someone who doesn't really understand how these terms come up on Google's auction process, then you're really going to be losing money. And this is, I think, where it comes from. Companies that I've worked with in the past that said, "Hey, I've tried doing some marketing before. I threw, a couple $1,000s there, and it just didn't pay off." That's what happens when you don't know what you're doing, or you're working with a company, or even, I've heard someone say, "Hey, I let my nephew take a crack at my website and set all this up," and for the most part, it can be done, but just it's not going to be done well, and you're not going to get maximize your ROI, and you're not going to get the lowest cost for these things. So that's why a big reason, probably about 70% of the Google campaigns fail. I say another big 20% of that would probably be that they're only setting up one ad group for each service. So that's a big one. It drives me nuts. Ad groups is a great way to take emergency plumbing and break that down into specific sections. So when you're looking at plumbing, if you looked at plumbing in general, a lot of people will think, hey, you got emergency plumbing, drain cleaning, clogging toilets, trenchless repairs. That's all grouped in one aspect, and I think that's something that really is a shame, because you just can't encompass all that in one general broad term. When it's broken down into each service, and that service is created into an ad group, then you're specifically targeting the right areas with the right pages.